Hello again everyone, and welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Derailious, and today we're going to be talking about the mining update on Alpha, which is incredibly controversial. Recently, over the past day or so, the admins have released a bunch of Day 1 patches, which do have a lot of improvements for the gameplay, so we're going to be talking about that, as well as some other new systems that players might not have realized exist. Before we get into this, I just want to say, we are extremely close to 70k, so if you could leave a like and subscribe down below, that really would mean a ton. Without any further ado though, let's launch right into this. Starting off with the changes for the Day 1 patch, we have that they rebuffed the Tier 3 mining speed boost perk from 250% to 300% after originally nerfing it from 400% to 250%. This does make it quite a bit stronger, and I do believe you can insta-mine obsidian now, although I don't believe it's the same case for gold. We'll talk more about gold in a little bit, but first I also want to mention that they added 0.5, 1, 1.5, and 2 base pristine to the gemstone line of drills. So this is the Ruby TX, the Gemstone LT, the Topaz KGR, and the Jasper X, basically allowing you to get pristine a little bit earlier on without needing to worry about Topaz slots. They've also made it so that Lonesome Miner will work on all mining islands, Mining Spread will take on Mole's current behavior, no longer accidentally breaking the blocks under you when you're mining, and they've also improved the base Mithril powder gain from active and passive events. To wrap up this section, they've also made it so that the Bal Pet's Dispersion perk will now max out at removing 4 heat per kill, it was 2, and the percent bonus Mithril and Gemstone powder from the Mithril and Gemstone drill lines will not be removed. It was something left in from prior changes that they decided not to go through with, so don't worry about that, you will still be able to use those drills for some bonus powder. Overall, this does fix quite a few of the issues that I had with the update yesterday. Notably, I felt like Mithril powder rates might have been too low. Well, if we're getting more powder from events, that's totally fine by me. And they've also rebuffed mining speed boost, which I am very happy about. Also, getting more pristine from some of the gemstone drills is really nice. I will talk a little bit more about pristine in a little bit, but I will say that this is a great step in the right direction for quite a few parts of the mining update. Next up, one of the biggest things that I think people are forgetting about is the new enchantment flow state. If I put my Divange drill and I do /hex and I put it in, and I can show you what it does, it gives you a total of 3 mining speed for every block you break. It stops after 10 seconds of not mining, and it caps at 200 blocks. This is effectively 600 mining speed on any drill or pickaxe you want, which by the way, yes, you can also put it on pickaxes. If I put this in here and I show you, you can see you can also get flow state on this. You get this from Dwarven events, so pretty much anything that happens in the Dwarven mines. And it's not that rare either. So you only need 4 of these books altogether. They get tier 3. It's not going to be that expensive. It's not going to be that hard to get if you're an Iron Man player. And if you're someone who's worried about things like the nerf to the Gemstone Gauntlet, I really think you don't have much to worry about. You're going to be able to use things like flow state to get a ton of that speed back incredibly quickly. All things considered, I feel like Gemstone Gauntlet is just in a different spot in the meta now. It did need to be nerfed. It was one of the easiest drills to get, and I use the word drill kind of lightly. It was just one of those things that should have been more early game than it was, and a change now is better than no change ever. I've got to say, despite a lot of the positive changes, there are some things I just don't love. I feel like the amount of plasma needed for the perfectly cut and the amber polished drill engine are just a little bit much. I would love to see that tuned in future updates, or maybe something else entirely, like a job board for the mining commissions, where you could maybe, I don't know, get a certain amount of a resource every time you complete your commissions for the day. Kind of similar to how it is in the Crimson Isle, where if you do all of your commissions, you are going to get some resources back. So if you did them all in like the Dwarven Mines, you get yourself Volta or some Plasma. If you do them all in the Crystal Hollows, you get Corallianite, and maybe you get some scrap if you do them all in the Glaciite Tunnels. Another pretty big concern held by a lot of members of the community was related to the Bal Pet and how useful it's going to end up being. And while I do imagine that the nerf does suck for a lot of individuals, you gotta understand the reason why they decided to do it. A pet having a full multiplicative perk makes it incredibly strong and getting stronger every time the admins decide to add any content to the game. If they add any amount of mining speed or mining fortune, you basically have to multiply it by 1.15x, because that's how effective it is for Bal, and that's not really sustainable long term. I really like what they've done with the Bal pet in the magma fields. As you can see, I've been here for a little bit, and I still have basically no heat at all. You can still utilize it if you want to get basically no heat. I mean, also look at things like the Armor of Devon. It gives you 10 heat resistance each, and the pet also gives you, what, a total of 129, and it's not even maxed. You can also use this to get quite a bit of pristine in the magma fields, and you get the ability cooldown for your pickaxes, which is really nice. So I imagine this will be utilized in a niche manner, but yes, this is in fact a nerf. In other news related to mining, there is a lot of improvement to things like Hardstone mining for people who want to get Silexes and stuff like that. Efficiency 10 and Silexes are definitely going to fall after the update, because all of the mining spread that you're able to get goes absolutely crazy for mining huge areas in a quick amount of time. And this isn't even like fully maxed. I'm not even using like mineral armor, for example, which gives you another 200 mining spread each on ores and blocks. It goes absolutely crazy, stacks together with fortune, and just makes mining a lot more reasonable for things like this, and also stuff like red sand and mycelium goes just completely nuts now. People better than me also did testing on gold, and they found that in the mines of Devon, you can get upwards of 40 to 45 mil an hour now from mining. This is going to be huge for Iron Man players, obviously. This is the money-making method that people are going to want to go for. Not necessarily Hardstone, this is not really the money-making method, but going for gold is going to go absolutely nuts long-term. NPC sell value is going to be crazy on that, and you're going to be making a ton of money. It seems like they've also just made mining a little bit more reasonable and a little bit more efficient here. For example, it's a lot more even mining the Hardstone here. It's not as, like, bouncy as it previously was. I don't know if that's just placebo effect, but maybe you understand what I mean. And as you can see, I'm getting a ton of chests, and things are just very prosperous here. There was also a lot of complaints about the fact that the chests don't give you mithril powder anymore. Maybe they could do a change where if you're in the mithril deposits area of the crystal hollows, you still get some mithril powder, but I don't know about that specifically. And if they're going to be boosting up the amount of mithril powder you get from events by a lot, I don't know how necessary it will need to be. From my understanding, one of the biggest problems remaining is that the admins have not really done a great job of giving the players the ability to test out what gemstone rates are going to be after the update releases. With things like gemstone spread just completely broken, players are not able to really see how messed up their rates are, and they don't know if it's going to be a 10% reduction or a 50% reduction. Hopefully, with things like gemstone spread getting fixed over the next couple days, we can get a more accurate picture of where this update stands, but I imagine the goal is not to make it so that you can't make money through gemstone mining, but rather make it so that gemstone mining is just one of many different opportunities the player has to make a ton of money. Trust me, I absolutely understand some of the concerns with this update, and I was one of the first people yesterday to talk about some of the issues that were currently happening. But I do believe the admins are attempting to put this update in a good state before shipping it to the main server, and there are major improvements right now on Alpha that you can hop in and see, even when compared to yesterday. I really do believe the admins are going to move this in the right direction. They want to make it so that mining is really diverse and interesting long term, and I have faith in them hitting that goal. Just give them a little bit more time. At the end of the day though, my name's Derailious. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future, fellas. I'll see you then.